Welcome back, family. Thank you for joining for our 2023 beginning of the year recap of the top 100 slabs in my personal collection. How it's changed from last year. This is going to be covering books 81 through 100. He's already typing and getting ready. Here we go. So there is a certain criteria that everybody uses to gauge their own personal collection. Mine is, if I call it the house fire.
Yep.
If my house was on fire and the guy says, before the whole place burns down, you got time to run in and get one book. If I run in and I grab one book. Now that's not going to be just value. It's also going to be how hard, sentimental value, not just monetary value, how hard it is to replace, how much trouble I'm going to get in with Mrs. Ohana if I let it burn. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to be encapsulating my choice. So the first book I grab is number one. And I get outside the house. And the guy's like, you got time. Go get another one. So I run back inside. I grab one more book. I go, there's number two. Now, apparently, if I had time to run back and forth 100 times, hopefully they would have put the fire out by now.
Hopefully.
Hopefully I didn't have a heart attack because I'm in my mid-50s and I can't go running for that longer period of time. But using this criteria, I have separated the top 100 slabs in my collection. Okay?
Yes. I cannot wait to get into this.
Well, then let's get into it. Coming in at number 100. Incredible Hulk, 449.
Uh-huh.
In a 9.6, the first appearance of the Thunderbolts.
Beautiful. First team appearance of the Thunderbolts, Citizen V, formerly Baron Zemo, Atlas, Mach 1, Songbird, Meteorite.
Did you legitimately type it that freaking quick?
I saw that was the first slab on the last video briefly. So I pulled that boy up.
Cheetah, I like it. Okay. And if I would have actually, it would have helped actually if I gave the list ahead of time, wouldn't it?
I'm quick. I'm quick enough.
That's what she said. Okay.
So you're looking at 169 value right now for a 9.6.
And not that hard a book to replace because there are quite a few of them on for sale. I think that it's a little bit more in demand now that we've got the Harrison Ford news popping out about him playing Red Hulk and General Thaddeus or General Ross or
Thunderbolt.
What's his Secretary of Defense Ross now?
Yeah.
Can
I say this? If the jump from a 9.6 to a 9.8, it goes from 170 to 490.
That is honestly a ridiculous jump in price.
That's one of those where we say, if you get a 9.6, go for that. Not worth the 9.8.
Especially since there's a decent chance that you find a good press or cleaner that you could take a 9.6, crack it, and send it right back in again.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
But, yeah. There's not much you could do for fixing the grade.
99.
99. I'm going to start writing this stuff. 99.
Write that stuff.
Is only a 3.0.
Hey.
But it is an iconic cover and first appearance of Black Cat with Amazing Spider-Man number 194. Now, I knew this was a low grade when it came in, but I thought, honestly, I would get closer to a 4.5. I was really disappointed with the 3.0, but I still am very happy to have the cover. It's one of those ones that has a really thick slab, too.
Oh, I hate those.
I hate them, too. There's no point to it. It really
is.
It's
like they had leftover inventory, and they're like, get one every 50, and so we can get rid of them.
Yeah, it's like somebody messed up when they made the mold, and it just came out too thick. But this is one of those ones that you put on the wall behind you, and you just make sure that the grade number is out of focus, and it still looks really cool.
That's a hard book, I would imagine, to get a higher grade on because it's so black.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's coming in at 177 average.
Even as a 3.0?
Yeah. 150 for 2.0.
Sheesh.
50. And there's a 9.9 that exists for 52,000. A 9.8 for 3,100. 9.6, 1,200.
Whoa. 9.8 to 9.9. What was that price difference?
49,000.
Wow. I mean, there is a 9.9 at Captain America 100, but I guess if you want to be the only person in the world to own that particular book, and you've got the funds,
pay to play.
You know what? I'm not going to judge. God love you. 98, yes. Iron Man number 118.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's a lot of like people say, well, this is the first appearance of War Machine, or this is. Nice and simple. First appearance of James Rhodes,
Rhodey.
the guy inside the suit.
There you go. Yeah, it gets real dicey
And-
there for a few issues, right?
Yeah, and I do have a 9.2
Oh, very nice.
white page, 9.2 white page. So
Beautiful. That's a nice, bright, colorful copy. I like that.
it looks like it's been pressed to hell. It is a newsstand. It's a 35 center from 1979. So the majority, literally like 85% of the books are newsstands at this time. But if this would be a great book that if CGC ever had a Don Cheadle, if Don Cheadle ever signs, this would be a great book for me to send in. Go for an additional cleaning and pressing by CCS, and getting that one signed. I think that would be nice.
I would do that, yeah. The only other edition of that is a Whitman, and that's worth less. So
Yeah, that would probably have nothing in the barcode box, like an empty square.
exactly. And then the altered
Or
upper left
a
corner.
diamond. The diamond.
It's both, yeah. Both of those things are true.
Yeah.
You know your comics, you.
I remember buying them going, what's the difference here?
97.
No, this is a 3.5. It's a modern book.
Ooh.
People are like, why do you have a 3.5 book from 1990?
Oh.
It's not that old. Yep. We have a first appearance of Gambit in X-Men 266. And I've even seen higher grades in this go for not that much money. Now, why do I have this and why do I value it? Because it's a Mark Jewelers insert.
Yeah.
And I personally have not seen Mark Jewelers inserts, which is also always going to be the newsstand, by the way. If you see a newsstand open from this time period, open it up and look to see if it's got the Mark Jewelers. So that's another one that I thought was going to get a little bit higher grade than the 3.5. 3.5 white page. So
Take that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
It is rough.
But that was,
And,
didn't they initially make a mistake on that grading of that book? Didn't they forget to put Mark Jewelers on it? I feel like that was that book.
Yes, it was. And I had to send it back to him to get it fixed. And by the way, CGC was very, very proactive. I called them up, and within 45 minutes, I had a return label and a submission number. Unlike CBCS.
Okay, here we go. We're going to just bash CBC.
Yes, I am, because I'm still my last submission that I got back after it'd been in their hands for a year, which was extending the credit from the year before from them losing my Stan Lee signature book. They sent back 2 books with reverse labels, and from November 26th to now, I'm still not been able to get through to these people to just get a way of sending it back so they can fix it.
It's been a fucking saga, I have to say. It started before I did on the channel. That's how long it's been going on.
Yeah. And I had to work my way up the ladder on this one into upper management.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Oh.
But I don't have anything that low for Mark Jewelers. The lowest I have here is a 7.5 for $635. So they are very much worth more most of the time.
I would personally value this at somewhere around 150 to 200 just because it's Mark Jewelers. That's about it. I don't place that high a monetary value on it. I've never seen one. So
Yeah,
the fact that I got one, it made me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it existed. And according to cover price, it's one of the hidden gems. It has a little gem icon, meaning it's super rare.
In my collection, that's my only super rare hidden gem.
I have
out of all my entire collection, that's the only one I have.
have one, and I believe it's that Lobo cover with all the different rings of the spectrum on his hand.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Doing the Thanos.
Kind of, yeah.
So coming at number 96. Yep. Yay. This is a book that I always loved and always wanted to find a really good price. After Logan, it shot up a lot, and it became one of my Remember Me's. So I waited till I found in my opinion, really, really great price. Probably not as good as it is today because of the market, but I wanted an all new Wolverine #1 in a 9.8 with X-23 on the cover.
It's the debut of X-23 as Wolverine in the classic costume.
On the back cover too.
Oh, there you go.
And yeah, I always wanted to have this book, and when I got an opportunity, I don't even want to know, but how much is this going for now?
What was it, a 9.2?
9.8.
It's a
9.8
9.8.
page. Oh yes.
Fair market is 178.
Okay, that's not terrible. It's not terrible. I think it was definitely 2022 that I purchased it, but it was around April, and I think I got it for like 180.
The last sale was 115 in November, so
Ouch.
just bear that in mind.
Hey, who knew what the market was going to do?
Hey.
There's rumors that she's going to be in the Deadpool movie. So if she is, boom. So, okay, number 95. This is one I got in a collection I purchased, and I cleaned and pressed it myself. It wasn't great, but I cleaned and pressed it myself and sent it in for grading. X-Men Annual number 14. The first real appearance of Gambit.
I need to get that book. It's not that expensive.
It's only a 9.0. It was one of the books that I got, and you can actually still see some of the waviness on the back cover. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Whoa, that's got to be part of the slab. I don't think that's...
No, there's actually a plastic on the inside.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's
almost...
what I mean.
But it looks cool, though.
This is
So a 9.0 is not an expensive book, but it was one that I got at a garage sale, so it made me happy.
Yeah, those are always fun, right? Like, it's kind of like...
Yeah.
Like, I built this, almost, you know?
Yeah, it was the one of those $1 for each book. I'll take that one.
That's great. I mean, $60 currently.
Yeah. Which, if you factor in $1 plus the cost of slabbing, I'm still ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I got in a raw. I thought it was going to be a higher grade, and we're at number 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, whatever. See how easy it is to lose track.
Yeah.
It's the first appearance of Yelena Belova in Humans number 5 in a 9.4.
9.4.
I thought this was a 9.6 or even a 9.8 candidate. CBCS didn't see it that way, but
First,
I'm not gonna argue grading. I will argue bad labels and lack of communication, but
$75.
and it really is a cool cover too. So that's one of those ones on eBay where the guy says it's definitely a 9.8. You should send it in. CGC it.
Yeah.
Comes in a 9.4, and you're like, well, I guess if it really was a 9.8, he would have CGC'd it.
Maybe, yeah.
Number 93. Yep. Okay.
93.
This is a book that I bought because I just wanted to be part of the club. It's one of the most printed books of all time, and having a 9.8 white page is not a hard thing to do.
Spawn?
Hey! Very good.
They kind of went up in value with Todd. I'm surprised you didn't send that in to get Todd.
I'm not a Todd McFarlane maniac, I guess you'd say.
I'm not either.
How much was his autograph?
Yeah, it was expensive. $125.
That's not terrible compared to what I spent for Ewan McGregor.
Well,
however,
as far as non-celebrities that are unrelated to comics, other than they've been in the movies, the only thing I've seen higher is Jim Lee, I think.
If I were to send in a book for a Todd McFarlane signing, I think it would be Gunslinger Spawn.
Mm.
I think there's enough open areas on that cover that a signature would look good. I think that this is just too busy. And unless you got like a yellow marker right in here,
Yeah.
you know, something that would like compete with your Frank Miller signing, it would be very hard to get a good. You don't want anything on the bottom third of the book. In that red spot with a yellow marker, I think is the only thing that would really stand out, or lime green to go with the Spawn.
Yeah.
But
167 fair market.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the books have dropped in value. I'm not really as overly concerned about that because I know the market is having a correction and will still continue to go up. I'm not losing faith. It's something that I've been involved with for 40 years.
Yeah.
Speaking of 40 years, what are we at, 92?
Yes.
Okay. This is the first book that, as a kid, I speculated on.
This is the first book you speculated on as a kid?
As a kid, yes. In 1983 is when this book came out, and I ordered 100 copies.
Did you?
Yes, and what I did not know at that time was that if you buy 100 copies, they should give you a discount, but they didn't. So they charged me the full $60 for 100 copies, cover price being 60 cents. This is not one of those 100 copies. That part of that collection was stolen. But I did have to go and buy another copy of New Mutants #1 in 9.8.
What are the New Mutants?
What are they, like XMen Part 2?
But none of the characters are the same, are they?
No.
Okay.
No, you've got, oh, Lord. I can't remember their names now.
Oh, that's okay.
Thunderbolts, Karma. Geesh, I don't even remember. But it is Professor Xavier in the background there.
Ah, okay.
The idea was that the X-Men are so popular, we need a new class. Fresh blood. So that was the idea. So
I don't think it took off. Really? I mean, 9.8 is 109.
Which is still more than I paid for it, so I'm happy.
Oh, that's good.
Number 91.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is a book from 1990. Nothing spectacular, but it has personal meaning. It is Spider-Man number 328, Todd McFarlane art, in a 9.2 white page.
Uh-huh. I think I remember this story.
Now, what makes this one special to me is I bought this off the shelf. It's the only book that I still have from my first collection. I had this monster crazy safe that, I could almost get in. Okay. It was humongous. Bolts going everywhere on the door, and I lost the combination. So that thing sat for 15 years before I could get into it. Finally, I took it to work, and we got the plasma cutters for the hinges, and carbide drills for the doors, and we did a Geraldo Rivera. I didn't remember what was in there. I remember I used to keep baseball cards and comic books and everything else. Well, it was pretty much junk, a couple of penthouse, and this comic book. There was it was a really beat up Star Wars #1 reprint, which I don't really care about. But this one looked like it was in good condition. And just because it was my book from 32 years ago, I sent it in and I got a 9.2 white page, which is what you'll get if you leave a book in a safe for 20 years.
53.
It's fine with me. It's one of the McFarlane artistries of Spider-Man. And I remember the story very clearly. I liked it. That might be a good storyline arc for a couple of books for us to read.
Sure.
In back issue book club. And number 90. This is one that I just it was one of the first times that I noticed that if you go on eBay at 6 o'clock in the morning, when the West Coast is asleep, you can get really good buys. So I did get a gold edition of Spider-Man #1.
Oh.
In a 9.8 white page. It's the old CGC label.
Nice. That's pretty.
I really don't like the old labels.
Oh, I hate them. I
might send this in for reslabbing because it's also a very thin, flimsy slab, but it has no Newton rings, so that's a good thing.
And those would be really visible on a darker cover like that.
Yeah. So what do we got on value?
160.
Ooh, about twice what I paid for it.
Nice. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Like I said, it was one of those early morning early morning auctions, and I think it ended for $88.
Yeah. Well, and you and I are morning people, so even more. We get there 2 or 3 hours before regular people on the East Coast, even.
Guys, seriously, if the best thing you could do is if you are looking to buy comic books and you just want to try and find a good buy, is go to eBay, type in your search parameter, CGC or CBCS, and just click ending soonest. And if you're 7 o'clock in the morning, remember that's 4 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, on the West Coast. You're going to be eliminating a lot of the people that are bidding against you. And you might, once in a while, not every day, but once in a while, you'll find that book that'll, hey, that's a $300 book and it's going for $80. You might get lucky.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of books coming up here, starting with number 89, that belong to Mrs. Ohana. Oh. Believe me, there are going to be a smattering of these throughout every one of these videos. But we're going to start off in the 1950s here with 1959 off-white pages, 7.5, Mickey Mouse.
65.
Mickey Mouse number 65. In a 7.5, 1959. Very hard to get prices on this.
No, yeah. I don't have any data.
No, because there's just no books that are being sold. And remember, I'm hitting on two markets with this, not just comic books, but Disneyana.
Disneyana, yeah.
So even on the back cover, you can see Walt Disney there. I believe, he was still alive at that point.
Cool.
This is only a 6.5, but we're going 5 years earlier. Mickey Mouse number 34. And yes, Mrs. Ohana really loves Pluto. So that's why I try to pick up those books.
That's so clean, man.
Oh, I love it. I really do love it.
Like, even though the cover is like basic or whatever, it's so, for its age, it's so crisp and clean.
Well, you really think about the Mickey Mouse, the Walt Disney books, anything that's really a kid book, okay? In the 1950s, who read them? 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds? They didn't take care of their books.
Yeah.
So to find a 7.5 or a 6.5, to me, that's amazing. And I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we go back to 1947.
Wow.
And we're getting a 5.5 white page.
Oh, nice.
King Comics number 140 with Popeye. This thing has white pages, and it is 2 years after World War II. Come on.
Jeez. Wow.
So, yeah, I am very happy in the fact that Mrs. Ohana has enjoyed the books that I picked up for her collection, and it has really rounded out our collection as a couple. 86, coming in number 86, keeping in line with the wholesome, childlike books, we have She-Venom. We have The Bride of Venom, Sinner Takes All, Venom number 3, first appearance of She-Venom, in a 9.8.
Venom, Sinner Takes All. All right, 9.8. We are looking at, oh wow, 263. That's pretty good.
I got 2 raw copies of that. I sent them both in. I got a 9.6 and a 9.8.
Wow, 9.6 is $100.
I was fine with that.
Yeah.
Next on the list, we hit America, number 1. This is going to be a little tougher for you to find, I think. It is from June of 2017. America, number 1, in a 9.6.
But.
Yeah, you see it. You see it, don't you? I do have a 9.8 of the first printing, which shows America written in red, white, and blue. But this is the second printing.
Yeah.
Which shows America written in gold. This is a much tougher book to find. Very hard to price on this as well.
Yeah, there's not a lot of data. Although, apparently one sold in it as a 9.8 on November 8th for $99.
Whoa, I would have bought that in a heartbeat if I saw it.
Yeah. I think the numbers are way lower on that run, or on that, on CGC's census.
Yeah, and the other thing is that right now is a great time if you like America Chavez and you realize that she's going to be a player going forward in the MCU. This is a good time to buy it. Which reminds me, we need to do a second Remember Me video. 3, number 84. We have Marvel Premiere. Number 47. First appearance of Scott Lang as the astonishing Ant-Man in a 9.0 white page.
And Cassie.
Yep. And Cassie Lang, which both of them will be in the next movie.
Yeah. You are looking at a 160. This book really, I'm disappointed in it.
I think it should be, first off, Marvel Premiere was not a it wasn't highly printed. It wasn't purchased a lot back in 1979. 79. Okay. Yeah, I was there buying the comics. This is not one of the ones that you look forward to. Okay. It was solely by cover art. And there weren't a lot of Ant-Man fans. Okay. It was like, he's a cool character, I guess, but you didn't go out of your way to buy him. '79 was also when X-Men was really dominating a lot of the stuff, Spider-Man and X-Men. So all the other characters were like, unless you really had a cool cover, you weren't selling that book. So speaking of cool covers, coming in at number 83, we have 2 more books left. This one I got, it's not the highest grade, and I noticed something about it tonight that I'm still trying to figure out. But it was in the last trade that I got with a friend of mine before he passed away. We have Moon Knight, number 1. Regular direct edition, not the newsstand, in a 9.2. Nothing super high. But I did notice, though, if you look above the 9.2, there's a check mark.
Yes.
I don't know what that check mark means.
That means...
You know?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. You got to tell me.
In rare cases, a comic book will look much better than the given grade. In these cases that are rare, a check mark will be placed on the label led by a numerical grade. The best way to understand why a specific comic book received a check mark designation is to refer to the grader's notes. Basically, books of a certain grade tend to have certain look or amount of wear. In some occasions, the book's unique accumulation of flaws means its condition falls into a certain grade, but the book's general appearance is much better than the grade. So there must be something on the inside that was funky or something, because it presents better than a 9.2 is what they're saying there.
I would say that the cut was a little bit off on that. See how the Comics Code Authority symbol is right at the border. Mm-hmm. Almost part of the T it looks like it's about to be chopped off. But it does look good. I was actually a little surprised at the 9.2. I thought it was going to be more like a 9.4, 9.6. So what they're saying is, yeah, it's a 9.2, but it looks nicer than a 9.2.
Yeah. And you're looking at $80.
It's fine. The trade that I made that day was the first appearance of Punchline, The Hell Arisen, in a 9.6. And I got 2 books back in a raw. Moon Knight number 1, which came back at 9.2, and Star Wars number 2, which came back at 7.5.
Which is within your acceptable level for the first 6 books, or is not?
That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, with the prices the way things are now, I wouldn't mind looking for those CGC auctions ending on eBay at 6 o'clock in the morning for an upgrade. We have 2 books left. One is Mrs. Ohana's and one is mine. Here's one from 1956. It is a 6.5 cream to off-white pages. So it's not the greatest, but I think the cover is absolutely adorable. I love it. It is 4-color comics number 736, Walt Disney Pluto. And he has figured out how that we can all weigh ourselves and not feel horrible. You just split yourself onto 2 scales and don't do the math.
I don't have any data on that.
Most of these you're not going to. It's even got a little Pluto cartoon on the back. Yeah. And coming in at number 81, this was actually one of the first books I bought from my friend before, the one that passed away. And he said, you know what? If you send this in, it's probably going to get like a 9.4. Came back a 9.4. Is NYX number 4, which I hate the cover of NYX number 3.
I do too. I think it's terrible.
I think this cover is amazing, and I wish this was the cover of number 3.
That is going to give you around $90. There's a big jump.
Well,
it goes 90 to 170 to 360 for 4, 6, and 8.
I'll keep the 9.4, be happy with it, knowing that it came from a friend who's dear to my heart, and put the extra money towards a lower grade NYX number 3. And when I say lower grade, I mean lower grade. 7.5 will run you like $400.
So expensive.
So, it really is, and unless they do something with the character, I can't say that it's justified.
$1,400 for a 9.8.
Yep. I remember it being a lot higher than that, though.
Give me a break, man.
It wasn't high printed. That's the whole thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nobody was buying NYX. Nobody knew what NYX was. It's people that used to live in New York. That's what it was.
And there's not even any variant covers.
Nope.
Wow.
So that's my 81 through 100. And in the next video, we'll be going through 61 through 80 and discussing the books that have joined our collection during 2022, and of course the ones that have gone into Mrs. Ohana collection. So I think we're done with this. I don't know if we want to continue. We'll see after we get off the air. But guys, I want to thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click on those notifications, share with a friend. Check out our Patreon page where we've got all the behind the scenes information, the watch alongs for our reaction videos. Instead of just watching us react, you can actually watch it with us, the entire timestamp. We've got a podcast for the Back Issue Book Club. We've got t-shirts and hats available on eBay.
I forgot to mention this last time. Exclusive information only as well. On our Remember Me picks, we exclude some information on our public YouTube videos and keep that specifically for the Patreon subscribers.
Right. On our last video, we made 3 total picks each, but YouTubers only got to see 2 each. If you wanted to see that third mystery pick, you had to be a member of Patreon. And I mean, seriously, it's only like what, $3 a month?
Yes.
For $3 a month, we're giving you information on books that can make you mega money.
Listen, they were good picks. There were times where Rich was like, "Oh wow, that's a good pick," and I was like, "Oh, that makes me feel good because I feel like Rich is like a pro in comics."
I'm not a pro, but I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, if I was a pro, I would have actually had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I looked at your picks going, damn, I didn't think about that. That's good.
But I the same towards your picks. So
yeah, we're reminding each other, and 2 of us combined are reminding you.
Yes. So
awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, as I said it before. Drop comments down below. We'd love to hear what you think about this video, what stuff you'd like to see on our channel, and where you want to see us going in 2023. It's all part of the plan, but the plan is malleable. I don't get to use that word very often.
It's a good word.
Thank you. Guys, until we see you in the next video, mahalo.